Today's video is brought to you by my TikTok. No, seriously, check out my TikToks. I did one recently celebrating the release of Chapter 4 of John Wick.
Man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried. I'm going to need a gun.
Go follow it. I'm going to need a gun. Hey guys, it's AGOYT Abbott here, and today we're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 4. It was directed by Chad Stahelski and was released last week. I know I was going to do Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Inside first, since they are chronologically, they were released before John Wick Chapter 4, but John Wick Chapter 4 is a movie of epic proportions, so I wanted to get this review out early. I didn't want to wait like another week and, you know, the hype be less than it is now, because the John Wick Chapter 4 hype train is, oh man, it is going, and I'm all aboard. If you haven't seen John Wick Chapter 4 yet, I will have a time code on screen letting you know when I enter spoilers. You can go and watch the film and then come back to that point and hear my spoilery thoughts. Now, getting into the film. This is being hailed as one of the greatest action movies of quite some time now. And they are absolutely right. This movie is amazing. John Wick Chapter 4 just might be the perfect action film. I'm not saying the entire thing, it's pretty close to perfection, but the final hour of this film is just pure perfection. It is, oh man, it's perfect. Absolutely. Keanu Reeves delivers his awesome delivery, line delivery, and, you know, he does the awesome stunts. He's getting up there with Tom Cruise, man. He did, like, I think 90% of his own stunts. I think so. Like, he did a lot of his own stunts for this film, and he has the passion for the role. He loves the franchise. He loves the people he works with, and he delivers another fantastic outing with this one as John Wick, our favorite assassin, next to Agent 47. Well, no, I don't know. John Wick or Agent 47? Let me know down in the comments below what you think on that. So here we have a very simple plot, actually. This is probably the simplest plot we've had of all the films, and I'm not complaining on that, because the first film, you know, is the simple story of just wanting to get revenge for the murder of his wife's dog that was gifted to John. And Chapter 2, you know, you have the destruction of his house, and he's brought back into the game, and he wants to get out of the game, but then he gets right back into it, and then he is excommunicado in the third film. Everyone's trying to hunt him down. That movie is like 80% fight scenes, and this one might be 85 or 90% fight scenes. This movie has a lot of fighting. Once again, I'm not complaining. It's amazing. The fight choreography, top notch. Love that. I watched a lot of behind the scenes in this film, particularly, this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. When John gets a hold of those nunchucks, he goes to work. But anyway, Chapter 4 now. John is still excommunicado, but he's given a chance. He challenges the Marquis de Gramo, played by Bill Skarsgård of Pennywise fame. John actually gets his freedom out of this if he wins the duel. And Winston is his second, and the Marquis chooses Kane, played by Donnie Yen. Now, Donnie Yen is probably my favorite, outside of Keanu Reeves, in this film. His character, Kane, is fantastic. He's blind, and he is amazing with some samurai swords. He is like a superhero in this film. It's amazing. It really is. That's the best word I can describe John Wick Chapter 4. You'll hear me use the word amazing a lot during this review. So, you get plenty of big action sequences here. You have you get chases like through the sand dunes, and you have car chases, and then John's fighting people on the street, throwing them into cars. You have the classic, you gotta have a club fight scene. If you don't have a club fight scene in the John Wick film, are you really doing it right? I mean, Chapter 3 didn't have one, not to my memory. but it had something similar to it, so I'll give it that. And this film has just some amazing set pieces as well. You're, following John through these buildings, these just crazy looking clubs with like people are dancing as they're fighting, so like John can be like stabbing somebody or shooting them or breaking their leg or something, and everyone else is just like, woohoo! Like, that's just how the John Wick universe goes, man. It's so entertaining. We have some great cinematography here. This might have the best cinematography of the entire franchise. Whereas the last film, it was like color graded to like mainly like purple colors. This one takes a orange tone, and I really like the purple color a little bit better, but the orange tone definitely fits the film. And the cinematography is fantastic. There is a fight in this film. It's an action sequence where John gets a hold of some. You've seen in the trailer the explosive rounds. I think they're called Dragon's Breath in this film, and you follow him. You have an overhead shot of John going through room to room, just blasting these guys away. It is amazing. It's my favorite scene out of any film in 2023 so far. It's fantastic. Really, that's all I have to say. The cast is great. I'll add that in. You have some new characters, some old characters coming back in. You have Lawrence Fishburne's Bowery King. I really enjoyed him for the time he's in it. You have Ian McShane back as Winston. Lance Reddick. I wish he could have been there to watch the premiere of the film. It's a tragic thing that he had to pass away when he did. But the whole cast seems to really have a strong bond, so they really cared about him, and they definitely, I hope they feel like they've done a great service to him with this film, with the time that he's in it. Yeah, that's really all I have to say in terms of non-spoilery things, because this movie is, you have to explain this film, it's packed with spoilers. So, join me in the spoiler section. For now, I'm going to be rating John Wick Chapter 4, our first 10 out of 10. First 10 out of 10 of the entire thing. I know I rated Scream 6 10 out of 10, but I changed it. I added in that I changed it to a 9 out of 10. So that's a 9 out of 10. John Wick Chapter 4 is a 10 out of 10. The first actual 10 out of 10 of 2023 for me personally. It's phenomenal. It's a great time, and it literally, it's the Top Gun Maverick of the John Wick franchise. It takes everything you love, doubles down on it, gives you some satisfying conclusions to different storylines and different characters. You have some new characters thrown in there, great action scenes, some emotional moments even, and it just all comes together to a very solid action experience and a great film in general. So, yeah. Now, let's get into spoilers. So, John Wick is dead. At least that's how it seems. By the end of the film, we get the showdown between John and the Marquis, and, the Marquis has got Kane in place of him. So we have Kane versus John. They have to take guns and walk 30 paces away. They fire. They each get hit. Walk 10 paces closer. They both fire. They get hit. Walk 10 paces closer. And then this is where Kane lands a shot on John. And you don't initially realize it, but when the Marquis goes to finish off John, Winston is like, I'm trying not to swear for these movie reviews. He was like, you idiot. He didn't fire. John takes the bullet, bam! Fires that right into Bill Skarsgård's head. The Marquis is dead, and therefore, by default, even though John was on the ground bleeding out, John has won the showdown, the duel. So his freedom is granted, and the Continental is rebuilt. I almost let it slip in the previous section that the Continental was destroyed. But yeah, the Continental is destroyed in this film. Sadly, Lance Reddick's character is killed as well by the Marquis because Winston no longer having the Continental, he's like, well, you no longer need an assistant, a concierge. So he takes out Sharon. I think that was his name. I'm 100% sure that was his name. Lance Reddick did great for the time he was in the film, and his loss is felt throughout the majority of the film. Winston's character, he goes through a great change in this film where he wants to get the Continental back, but it's more about getting revenge for him over the death of his colleague and best friend than it is really getting the Continental back. That's just like a bonus to him. He really wants to get revenge, and John gets that revenge through killing the Marquis. But John, he's wounded so badly that he goes and sits down, and then he thinks about Helen, his wife, one more time, and John Wick, the Baba Yaga, dies. We see his grave. John mentions this earlier in the film, that if he dies, he wants on his gravestone, loving husband. That's what's on the gravestone. And yeah, as far as we know, it seems like John Wick is dead. And I actually am 100% okay with it. This is a great conclusion to John Wick's character. He goes through such a change throughout these 4 films. And in this 4th film in particular, he's just trying to get his freedom so he can be out of this nonsense, out of this drama with the high table, and to just have a shot at, some sort of normalcy. But even he admits it was like, even we left a good life behind, when we joined into this with the high table. John that's been his journey throughout these 4 films, is that he just wanted to have more time with his wife, and he gets that at the end of this film, joining her. And I think that's a perfect conclusion to the character, really. I hope it's not a fake out. If it is, I won't be terribly upset, but it will kind of diminish the long-lasting impact that this ending will have in the future if he comes back, because this is a great ending for the character. So, as I mentioned before, fantastic action sequences. The ones I can talk about. So we get to see the Continental in, oh my gosh, what is it? The Continental in Japan. And I can't think of the actual place. So we get to see that. We have, I forget his name. He was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. He plays Koji. He's another lifelong friend of John's, much like Kane is. Kane and John are lifelong friends, or they used to be friends anyway. And Koji has to defend his daughter. He has a daughter who's the concierge there, who we see in the end credits. I'll get to that in a minute. So his character's really great. You get an established, some world building here. There's a lot of world building in these films, and Chapter 4 delivers on that even more. So Koji and John were friends, and still are. They both, John doesn't even have a marker on Koji, and Koji still offers to help him. That's how strong that bond is, their friendship is, I guess. So Koji does end up fighting Kane. He loses, but his daughter lives. And in the after credit scene, we do see his daughter attempting to, starting to make her way up to Kane to kill him. So will that be the next film? I think the next film actually is Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, which I'm very excited about. But after that, are we going to get a film about that conflict now? We'll see. I'm open to it, because I loved Donnie Yen in this film, and the daughter character is actually pretty good as well. She has some great actions. You have Scott Adkins in this film as well. He's the guy that John has to kill in order to earn help from his family. And he has a great fight with him where it's like a tense standoff, right? He gets there, and he's in front. Scott Adkins is in front of John, and then you have Donnie Yen, you have Kane, and then you have Mr. Nobody, who is also a great addition to the film, and his dog. Mr. Nobody is basically this guy that he's kind of watching from the shadows here. He's like, John Wick, this massive bounty on him, because I think it reaches like 40 million in this film, so that's a lot of cash. So Mr. Nobody is after the bounty, and he's willing to do whatever he can to get it. And we get just a great action scene here where John has to make his way out of this tense standoff. Kane is there, Scott Adkins, and then Mr. Nobody, and the dog's fighting. And oh man, I can't explain every action sequence in this film, but there are just some incredible scenes in this, man. There are scenes that will make you go like, oh man, like I can't believe that just happened. Like John has to run up these stairs, like 200 stairs, man, to get to this duel with the Marquis. And he gets almost all the way to the top, and the Marquis' like right-hand man just kicks him right back down. I was like, oh, dude, John. And you watch him like go down every single flight until he's back at the start. And then Kane ends up helping him to get up there, because Kane is a pretty honorable man. He's only doing this because his daughter is at risk. The Marquis is like, if you don't kill John Wick, then we will kill your daughter. So John Wick or your daughter, Kane logically picks his daughter, because that's the kind of man he is, and I love that character. He's really great. If we do get those films with him and Koji's daughter, I'm 100% down. Yeah, really, I'm trying to think of anything else we can really touch on here. No, I think I don't want to make this video like 20 minutes long, so I think that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know what you thought of John Wick Chapter 4 down in the comments below. I thought it was phenomenal, obviously. I've just been a big rambling mess this whole review. I've been trying to do them without scripts. So this is what that looks like. Me rambling on about how this is phenomenal and amazing and epic, but that's what John Wick Chapter 4 is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want me to do for videos. I mean, I'll take any suggestions. I'm thinking about doing a Wes Anderson ranking video sometime soon, because I'm catching up on his films in preparation for Asteroid City. So I'll do a video on that, ranking the Wes Anderson films. And like I said, we have the review for Shazam! Fury of the Gods and Inside coming up, as well as I don't know exactly what else would be coming next. Maybe Tetris. Would you like to see a review of Tetris? I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you guys next time. Take care, and goodbye.